Well, hello there, stamping friends. It's Tracy Rather from Plum Crazy Stamping, and it's time for our Paper Pumpkin Workshop. So it is November 6th, and we are doing the October 2023 kit called Home for the Holidays. So if you were watching my Facebook Lives last week, you know that we did a Christmas card challenge, and we had 5 wonderful days filled with fun Christmas card designs, lots of ideas. We had many people submit their cards in the comments, and they were entered in a drawing. And lots of ideas for you to take a peek at. So don't hesitate to go back and catch those Facebook Live broadcasts, as well as look in the comments for the cards posted by other stampers. Anyway, it was wonderful. So tonight we're going to continue our looking at Christmas card ideas. I am so excited to share the 2 fun folds that I created using the stamp set from this project kit. The project kit itself was so pretty that I didn't want to cut up the cards to make alternatives. I decided to use the stamp set to make the alternatives with some fun fold designs. So anyway, let me go ahead. I'm going to flip the phone down and let's get started. And as I'm doing that, I'll just remind you, please sign in and let me know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions or comments on the projects, please go ahead and put it right in the comments under this post. And even if you're watching on the replay, I will be able to follow up with you afterwards, because I do keep track of, any questions that you may have after the fact. So, all right, here is our kit called Home for the Holidays. This is actually a kit designed with 2 different Christmas cards. There are 4 of each kind. And the really fun feature this month was some blue glitter glue. And so I'm going to show you how I used that and just how pretty that was on these cards. Also, the cards are very layered to make these Christmas scenes, and they're really unique. And I really like the envelopes too, so I'll be showing that to you as well. So as always, this is the monthly subscription program through Stampin' Up. And you can get 1 month, you can get 3 months, 6 month, 1 year subscriptions to this. It is a surprise. They do give us hints about it more than they used to, but it comes wrapped in tissue paper just like a present. I know when it's on its way to my house, and I think I've shared with you before, this is the one of the Christmas gifts my husband gives me, and it's like I get a present every month. I absolutely love it. If you're interested in checking this out, I would encourage you to order either the November kit, which you can do for the next few days yet, which is, I think, called Warm Wishes. And then there will be 1 more kit for December. And if you like it with Celebration, that is the perfect time to order a 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month subscription, because you can earn all kinds of free products during Celebration. So I'll just kind of put that bug in your ear as we go forward. All right, let me move that out of the way because, there are full instructions in here too, but I guess I've played with this that I know, but let me show you that it first tells you what pieces you should separate to get ready to do the projects, and then it has the very specific instructions about what we need to stamp, where to put the adhesive, and then how to put the project together. So I'll just kind of let this sit on my desktop. And let's bring these over here. I've got a couple acrylic blocks to put my sentiments on for this set. We're going to be using Happy Holidays tonight, and we're going to use Merry Christmas. Let's see which one we're going to do first. The Happy Holidays. Okay, let me set this other one off to the side. Here I want to show you the box that this came in. Isn't this beautiful? We also then, here's the envelopes. Aren't these gorgeous? I just love them. Very white. They're very heavy. And we got a white stamping spot. White. Real red. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking there. And die cuts and sentiment labels so that we can have those pre-cut. Now, let me just open this up for you here. I'm going to set this part off to the side, and I'll show that to you shortly. But let's get all the pieces for this first card. So we have the card base that has stars and the moon and some evergreens and snow as we're ready to go here. Let me go ahead and use my bone folder. Okay, so we've got the base of our card. And then what is the base die cut here, I'm going to actually use, remember I said we have the blue glitter glue. So let me show you how easy this is to use. And on the diagram, right here with the glue, they show you how to follow the roof lines and the window boxes and the roof line over here to use the glitter glue, okay? So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do right now. And actually, for safety's sake, I'll show you what I did when I was doing this before, is I'm using my silicone mat so I don't get any glue on my desktop, because remember, it is glue. So I'm going to just follow the top of this roof line, and you'll be able to see it once I'm done, but I'm just going right along the roof line, and then on top of all of the garland on this roof line. Okay, and then on this other. Roof line. And really, so right now it looks clear with a couple sparkles in it. When it dries, they call it blue glitter glue because it actually turns to a light blue color. I'm going to do the window sills of the houses where the snow gathers. And I'm going to do it on this other little house here. This is really easy to do, and they have a nice tip on here for you as you're, applying the glue. If there's a part that you miss, you can go back and pick it up again. I'm trying to stay in a continuous line. Okay, get the garland on this house. Over the door frame. And then the last roof line here. Okay, and these windowsills. Let me just put the lid back on here, and then I'll hold this up and show you what it looks like when it's wet. So if you can see the sparkles on there. So, all right, I am not going to glue this on right now because it is wet. So I'm going to set this one off to the side, and let me show you after it's dried what it looks like. So you can see that sparkle and a little bit of a light blue color with the glitter. So then that's all ready for me to actually put my dimensionals, which came in the kit. And it even shows you or gives you suggestions of where you should put your dimensionals to make this nice and level on your card. Okay, then I'll just take all the paper coverings off here. Okay. So if you have this kit and you're doing it, I would suggest that you take all the die cuts and do all of the snow if you're going to keep the kits as they are, so that you can let them dry overnight. That's what I did, so that I wouldn't, create any smears on them. Let me go ahead. I have the dimensionals on the back of all these evergreen die cuts, which were provided in the kit. And so I'm just going to put those in place. Okay, and then we've got the tall tree here for right in the middle of the card. And because they're dimensional, I mean, this whole card is like popping up. It really looks cool in person here. Now we've got a little tree in front of this one. And then we've got a piece of very sparkly glimmer paper. Let me get my take your pick tool here and just get the adhesive covering off of these two little adhesive dots that were provided in the kit, because this is going to be flat on the card front. Just kind of center this between the corner of the card and the moon. And then this one, we're going to go ahead and stamp our Happy Holidays. And we're going to use Real Red. Now, they did provide that Stampin' Spot, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my stamp pad here. And let's see, Happy Holidays. Oh, that one's Merry Christmas. Here we go. Happy Holidays. Okay. Let's just, now this is photopolymer, but because it's a thin sentiment, I don't have to worry about my Pierce mat. This will do just fine on the sentiment label. It's if it's a solid image, you have to make sure that you use the Pierce mat to get a good image. And there's our Happy Holidays. Okay, let me just shut this quick. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just put it off to the side. I think we're good here. But let me get my covering to all those dimensionals off of here. Now I need to put 3 more dimensionals on the back of my sentiment label here. So that will be popping up with some dimension. Actually, I can probably just use the 2. Okay. And we're going to put that over our glimmer paper here. Kind of centered over that. And there is card number 1. Now, isn't that pretty? Can you see why I didn't want to cut this up? I'm going to make all 4 cards like this, and then I'm going to show you the next card, and I'm going to make the 4 cards of that. And then here's the envelope that I'll be mailing this in. So I really think these are gorgeous. So let me set that one aside. Okay, and let's do this next one. Card Project 2 here. Flip over the instructions for this one. Now this has even got more tiers going on. So like I said, I'm not going to put the glitter glue on this one. I will be doing that later. But I've already done these 3 layers and let them dry so that when I'm putting this together, it's already sparkling. So if you can see, this has that glitter glue on it already. And let's go ahead and make the layers for this by putting all the dimensionals on. So this time there'll be 2 different layers of these houses. I don't know how many years ago it was, we had a stamp set that you did kind of with these houses and a chapel. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but oh my goodness, that was so beautiful. I sent a lot of those cards, and I had friends that actually framed them so they could keep them year to year and bring them out with their Christmas decorations. I thought, wow. You know, these could similarly have that happen too. So, you know, it might not just be your Christmas greeting. It might end up being on their coffee table for years to come, which is really pretty cool. All right, let's just get that on there. And I'll peel these all off. So how are you all doing with your Christmas card making this year? Are you making Christmas cards? If so, how many do you make? Are you doing them now? Very curious about how that's going for you. Now, just wait. I better make sure I have the right one. Let me take the dimensionals off the back of this one, too, so I put the right one on in the right order. Anyway, I'm curious. I have started making some of mine. I don't have my lists complete yet, but I'm working on them, which for me is a little early, and I'm going to try to do all the labels on the computer this year. So let's see. Yes, this is how I'm going to do it. So my second layer is the one house here, and I'm going to put it all the way down. Oh, you know, it'll help me to line it up if I have it folded. So let me get the bone folder out here and get this put in place. Then I can line up the front of the card. That will help a lot. All right, so this one goes to the bottom and to the 2 corners. Okay, so we have one layer, and now this one is going to go to the bottom, be another layer, and then we're going to put our glimmer paper accent here on next, on the very bottom of this card. Okay, I'm just going to put this kind of in the center here. There we go. And then we're going to stamp this one with Merry Christmas. Once again, using our real red. Centering this on that sentiment label. There goes that. Clean it off to the side here. Okay, this time I am going to close my stamp head. Alrighty. And then I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of the sentiment label. And then we'll be ready to do our fun folds. I can't wait to share them with you. All right, so we're just going to center this. Just look what a little piece of that glimmer paper can do for a card. So there is card number 2. And with the glitter, with all the texture, I don't know if you can see a little bit when I go like this, if you can see the layers in that card, but it's very pretty. And once again, then that one also, same envelope for this card. All right, so those are our 2 project cards. Let me get these items out of our way. And let's bring in our first fun fold. So here's the fun fold we're going to make tonight. So I am bringing in other stamps from this stamp set. So let me show you these. And then I have to get them on acrylic blocks anyway. But we've got a house here. Let me just grab some stamps, or yeah, blocks. So we have a house, which is right here. We've got a large evergreen bush. And a very small evergreen bush. And the very small one. Okay, and then we have celebrate the wonder and joy of this festive season as a another sentiment choice. I really love the font and the size of the sentiments. I'm going to be using this on a lot of cards. They're like perfect. And then I have a band of snowflakes, which, let's see, put on this black. All right. So, and the only thing I'm not going to use are these little individual snowflakes, which is also a part of this. But this is a wonderful stamp set that I'll be able to use, you know, years from now, right? Okay, so let's, and then what this is, so this is called a bridge card. So the first thing you open is like this, and then you open the center. So it's very interesting. This fits in a medium envelope, and I decided, in addition to using the stamp set from this paper pumpkin, I'm going to be using designer series paper. Oops. All kinds of stuff here. Designer series paper from the A Walk in the Forest. So I thought this, you guys, my color Pretty Peacock is really finding its way into a lot of my cards this season. But then I just used 2 different pieces of designer series paper to be different parts of this card. And I am going to have, like I said, this tutorial in my newsletter, because I'm not quite sure, and I don't know where I wrote the dimensions. They're not, wait, yes, they are right here. I wanted to be able to tell you, but I couldn't remember if I kept them nearby. Okay, I did. Good news for us. All right, so this card base, let's get this out of here so you can see the pieces. All right. So this is a regular 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4 to make the card base. Something we need to do special though with this one is not just more scoring. We actually have to do some cutting to get these, you know, sides to be like this. So let's get out the trimmer, and we're actually going to use our score line as a guide, and we are going to cut on the top of the card. So top of the card, and we are going to cut in at the 1¼ inch mark. So let me just open my trimmer here. So I'm going to use the 1¼ inch mark over here. So 1¼ inch. I'm going to hold this in place. And I'm going to just bring my trimmer blade up and stop at the 4¼ mark. Okay. Then I'm going to flip this the other way and bring it down to this other side and do 1¼ again, starting at the bottom, and go up until the score mark. And there's a spot on your blade where you can make it go right to that, or you can see it on the clear ruler. And if it's just a little short, as you can tell, mine's just a little short here, I'm just going to snip it to the score line with my scissors. Oh, and this one was just a little bit too. Okay, so then that is how we get the front that moves and the two sides. Okay, so we can put the scoreboard away, the cutter I mean. All right, and then what we're going to do is start cutting the different pieces. So we have 4 pieces that are 4 inches by 1 inch that are going to go here on the top. So let me glue these on. Just going to turn them upside down here and put a little glue on. And I'm just going to center this on the first side. Okay, then I'm going to do the same on the second. Okay. Then we're going to take the usual card insert in basic white, 4 by 5¼ and we're going to just center that on the back side of the inside of this card. Okay. And now we're going to use 2 more 1 inch by 4 inch, and we're going to adhere that on each side of the card insert here. And we're actually going to butt these right up to the edge of that paper. Okay, and do it on the other side here. Just press them in place. Okay, now I'm going to pick another piece of Designer Series paper, but one that matches or complements the other piece that I'm using in here. So I decided to use these, what look like snowflakes, and go ahead and glue that on the front, the card front here. And I'm just centering this in the center of that cutout piece. All right, now we're going to do a little stamping before we put our bridge together. So let me just leave that there. I just cut out a 2½ inch circle of basic white. So let's just leave that here. Okay, and now I'm going to grab my Pierce mat here because we are going to do our stamping. Okay, And I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock. Or did I use the green? No, I think it's, yeah, it's all Pretty Peacock. Okay, let me grab that here. And you could do, well, this one I would use Pretty Peacock. I think it matches. Okay, so I just thought I'd make this easy. Now, could you use Memento Tuxedo Black and then color this all in? Yes, you could. But I decided to just go with a more monochromatic color scheme to make this easier. And also, if you're making multiple cards, this will go much faster for you. So I'm going to kind of just put my house down here somewhat in the center. Okay. Get these extra blocks out of the way. Okay, and then let's do the big tree off to one side. And on the other side. Then I kind of like the law of threes here, so I'm going to make a little tree to just kind of be in the forefront here. There we go. All right. And now I wanted this to look like it is snow, and then that it is snowing, so you know this is sky up here. So I'm just going to kind of stamp around the edges with the snowflakes. I just think it makes it appear like there's, you know, sky and ground. So that was my goal in doing this. Okay, so there is the front that I'm going to actually center on the card here, the image. But let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to stamp the Happy Holidays on here. Or actually, I can do Merry Christmas on this one, so they're both different. Let's do this. Okay, and I'm going to get this right in the center. And actually, I am going to do this where it is flatter. To get a better image. Okay. So there's our Merry Christmas. I'm going to set that off to the side. All right, now we're ready to put the rest of our bridge together. So I have a piece of the Pretty Peacock that is actually 5.5 inches by 3 1/4. So it's going to go all the way across. And then I'm going to center my sentiment on here. But first, I want to place this circle. And you know what? If this forefront goes behind it like that a little bit, that's fine. I want to line that up. So, let's see. What am I going to glue down first? I tell you what, I'm going to glue down the bridge. And I'm going to do that with mini glue dots, so I don't worry about glue smushing out somewhere I don't want it, and I can keep it a little more controllable. So just leave it sit here so I know where to put the glue dot. And I'm just going to put one on here, and these are really nice, strong adhesives. So put one there, and I'll put one on the other side. All right. And then I'm going to just leave that in place so I can line this up with the bottom of the house and the side of the card. There we go. And then I'm going to put glue on the back of my card front here. And just eyeball this. Because once I set that down, I can slide it just the littlest bit there. Now that's where I want it. And then I'm going to take the white piece of basic white cardstock here, just put a little line of glue across it. And this is actually a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inches to be centering it on this bridge portion. All right, and all I have left is to do the inside sentiment. So let's get our celebrate the wonder and joy of this festive season. And this is the perfect sentiment to fit in here. There we go. So that is the first of our 2 fun folds. Let me just check in and see if you're asking any questions. Hi, Amy. Hi, Kathy. Making 250 or 300 cards. Oh my goodness, Kathy. I hope you've started. About 3rd done. Okay. Hi, Donna. Okay, and there's some other comments. I'm sorry, you guys, I cannot see them right now. But like I said, I'll look on after the broadcast. Okay, so we've got this one done. Let me go ahead and pull out the next one we're going to do. So I have, now this is a diorama. Now this will fit in a regular medium-sized envelope. Let me put it up closer so you can see it. And I know it looks very tricky. You can see that it's hollow. This is one that can sit up on your table. So this would be for someone who you think would love to have this on their, on their coffee table where they like to spend a lot of time. That would be awesome. Okay. And you're going to be amazed at how easy this card is to make. I have to tell you, when I first saw this, I was a little intimidated. But after I made it, I am like, oh boy, this is easy, but it's beautiful. Okay, no more chatting. Let me get to showing you, right? Okay, so let's get our parts and pieces. Here's something I wanted to show you right away, too, is I had this scrap that matched this was designer series paper that matched Pretty Peacock that I got quite a while ago. And anyway, when I cut this first part, which I believe was, let's see, 4 1/4 inches, I had 1 3/4 left. Why not use it? So I put it on the envelope. So just FYI, that's kind of a little hint of something you can do here. Then let's get out the other parts and pieces and everything we're going to do here. All right, so I did some of the fussy cutting to make this easier. We have to die cut this, and I'll, because the circle punch wouldn't center this image, so I had to go with a die. Okay, then we've got all these little pieces. So let's show you all these little pieces here. I think this is the one. Yep, that matches that. All right. So the first one now, this is the opposite side of the cardstock, but still a 1/2 piece. So this is 4 1/4 this way by 11 inches. Okay. I am not scoring this right in the middle because we're going to have different score lines. Let's go ahead and score this up before I show you these other parts and give you those measurements. I'm just going to kind of move all this stuff aside so I can get my scoring tool in here. And I'm going to have to open the arm on my cutter because we are going to be actually scoring all the way across here. Okay, let's see if I go up here. I hope I don't make my computer go wonky. All right, let's get all these score lines on this one. So we're going to start way off to the side here. And our first score is actually going to be at a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to make sure we've got this straight in the cutter, right up against the edge at a 1/2 inch. Make sure your cutting blade is out of the way. And then first score, 1/2 inch. Next score, 1 inch. Next score, 4.5 inches. Next, 5 inches. Next, 5.5 inches. Can you guess the next one? 6 inches. And the next one, 6.5 inches. Then we're going to go all the way down to 10 inches. And then 10.5 inches. All right, that's the trickiest part. So before I start folding this up then, you see that we are going to have the center that we have to put in here, and that piece is actually 3 3/8 by 4 1/4 inches. And then we have these little pieces of matching, which are going to go on this one. And this one. And these are each 3/8 of an inch by 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue those down before I attach all of this. So let's get that in place. And I'm going to use a little bit of glue here. Okay. And I'm just going to center it. It goes all the way to the edge, and I just center it, you know, on the little sides here. Okay. Do the same here, because these are ending up, once we fold it all up, they're going to be facing the front of the card. Okay, and I'm going to put the solid piece on here. That's the front of the card. I'm just sliding that in place. Because this time it's not framed. It's actually going to the edge of our card base, okay? All right, so now we have this part done. And before we put the different pieces of white in here, I'm actually going to do the die cutting. So we need to find where we're going to put the center of our design. And I'm going to center this and then just cut that out with my die cut machine, which I have off to the side here. So that'll just take one moment. I'll be right back. And I like that this has a gingham look because I can kind of line it up with the different squares. Okay. So we've got our, I think this square was like 2 3/8. It will be in the tutorial in the email next week. Okay. And I'm just going to take this out and I'll be using that as something on another card. But now we've got the center of that. All right. And now we have 2 pieces of paper. And there's one that's 3 1/4 by 4 inches. And one that is 3 3/8 by 4 1/4. And I believe the one, a little bit bigger is actually this one that's going to go on the back for writing a message. And then this is going to be our focal image inside the card. So on this back, I actually am going to do the same sentiment that I did on the other card. So let's just do that before I glue it down in case something isn't straight. Okay, so I'm just going to, actually I can just leave it sit on here. Just doesn't seem like I got enough ink on there. It's probably just me. Okay, so we will, oh, and I got something on the edge. There we go, got that off. Phew. Okay, celebrate the wonder and joy of this festive season again. Here we go. All right, we've got that. And I'm just going to glue this one on the back. Okay. And now we're going to make our little framed picture inside of the card. And that's going to be centered right in here when we're done. So let's go ahead and make that. And oh, my computer is not cooperating. There we go. All right, so this time, let's put this back here. And I'm going to do a little bit 3D inside here. I think it's going to add some interest. And I'm going to have snow in here, as well as do the snowflakes. But I am going to punch out, let's see, I'm going to stamp the house. And I've already cut out the trees, but I need to stamp the house and just cut that out because I want to be able to put snow, a little bit more snow behind this, and I'm going to use the Wink of Stella to make the snow actually a little glitter inside the card, which I think will be really pretty. Okay, so we've got our house. Set that out of the way, and I'm just going to fussy cut this. So that I can make this look a little 3D as well. just cut in on my chimneys a little bit here. All right, so we have our house. We'll have our trees. Let's find our snowflakes here. All right, I know they're here somewhere. There they are, okay. So I'm going to go just like, kind of put this in the middle and then do my snowflakes. Oops. Kind of guess where they're going to get started, right where I had the house. And then I'm going to randomly stamp. Trying to move this around a little bit so they don't look so much in waves. Okay, so we've got our snowflakes. Now I want to go ahead and glue this in. It'll be easier then to put the, you know what, I also think I'm going to make all the creases right now while things are still flat. So when we look at this, we're going to say this, actually, this goes down on this dark side here. So I'm 2 score lines in, and then this one is going to flip up. Kind of like a little accordion, and you'll see why. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing here. The dark is going to go back, and then this one's going to flip up. So let's just press down on those. All right, now we're going to go back again and forward. And then back. All right, and then back. And this one will come forward. Okay, and then when we put this together, there are these 2 on the side, these edges, and then the ones that are in the center, we're going to glue together, okay, to make this. So, to keep these nice and strong, I'm going to use Tear and Tape as my adhesive. So, the very 2 center ones are going to get the Tear and Tape. This is a thin piece. This was from another paper pumpkin. The other tear and tape you'd get in the catalog's a little bit thicker. Okay. And then on this outside edge, I'll be putting the tear and tape. I'm going to do 2 rows of this just because it is so thin right here. Okay. Just press that down. All right. There, now I'll be able to put that together. Once I put my, let's see here, is there a part that is, it has to go this way. Watch your back sentiment when you're putting this together. Otherwise that may be upside down. And then this is going to go inside here. Okay, now I'm going to build my inside little 3D picture. By first centering the card insert here. All right, and then I'm going to pop up my little house. Okay, and I'm going to put it right at the base of the snowflakes. All right, and then I'm going to put one of my trees right flat on here, because remember, I'm trying to create dimension. So these I just stamped in garden green and cut them out. Okay, oops. And now I'm going to get a mini dimensional for the little tree. Pop that up. Right towards the front of the house. Okay, then I'm going to put another big tree down flat on the back. Maybe a little bit forward. And then I'm going to put another little tree. And this one I think I'll put flat. All right, and then I'm going to take a bigger tree that's going to look like it's in the forefront here with just the bigger dimensional. One will do it here. And I'm going to put that down front just a little bit. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and brush. Now this is a glitter pen. And I'm just going to brush glitter. And you squeeze this a little bit to get a little bit more out. But I'm just going to put that all along the bottom of the forefront of this just to give it a little glisten. So the thing is, they're going to kind of see it and they'll look more closely and then it will all show up. So I hope it catches their eye. And if you kind of do this in little strokes, it looks like little snowbanks. All right. So where's the lid here? Let me show you that just up close before I glue everything shut. So there's the little Wink of Stella down there. Okay, now, so I'll start with the center one first and just use my Take Your Pick tool to get the covering off of the tear and tape. All right, and then I'll just pinch those two together. And they're one side. And then I'm going to just flip the paper adhesive off this side. And then just line up these two sides. You can actually, might be easier if you just kind of flatten that bottom one out and pull this over. And then grab it in place and push down. All right, and then you have your card, and you can see your little picture inside and see the, you know, the little detail, the depth. Now, you could color this too if you wanted to, and it would be really pretty. It just depends how many you're making. And I don't know if you can see the little shimmer of the Wink Estelle in there. But, and then with that envelope, we have that alternative, and like I said, this alternative, and then we have the cards that were actually a part of this kit. And you know, this one, when you open it, you can see a little bit more of the inside there. So I don't know if you have any questions. As I said, I will have the tutorial in the email next week. Joy, thank you. Kathy, thank you. Like I said, Kathy, the measurements will be in my email next week. All right. Hi, Mary Ellen. All right. I'm going to flip this up and say thank you for joining me for my Paper Pumpkin workshop. I'm Tracy Rather from Plum Crazy Stamping, and it's my job to help make stamping easy for you. So if there's anything I can do to help, you can contact me at Tracy, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. Take care, happy stamping, and I'll see you Wednesday for Facebook Live. Bye-bye.